Question from one of my online members who asked about Justin Rose's pre-shot routine. And what we've seen over the years is that Justin Rose does a very similar pre-shot routine. And what we'll tend to notice is the way that he really kind of keeps this very conscious effort of his back staying towards the target as he drops his hands and arms down. Fine. The question then for most amateur golfers is how on earth does he end up hitting the golf ball, or what is it that he's really trying to do inside the golf swing? The thing that you've got to bear in mind, which is really important, this is something that I work on all the time with all my students, is you've got to be able to, if I did half a swing here, okay, and I've taken the club nice and straight back and I've produced, say 20 odd degrees worth of shoulder rotation to get the club into this position, okay, like so. Now, from this position, as I come in towards the downswing, what needs to happen is I need to move my upper arm to the side of my body, okay, which will advance the club down into this sort of position. And as I allow my right arm to straighten, okay, the club's going to end up looking like this. Now, if I kind of just moved a little bit towards the left-hand side, okay, so I sort of just swayed, let's say 2-3 inches towards the left, you can actually now notice the way I can square the club face, I can get the club onto the back of the golf ball with my shoulders staying completely as closed as they were from the takeaway position. Now that might feel a bit restrictive in terms of, how do I sort of swing through from here, but you could then obviously hit the ball and then rotate through. Now, that's what happens inside the golf swing, and this is the thing that most golfers really struggle to see, is that if I do the same intention, so I bring my shoulders down like so, I'm going to exaggerate it like that for effect, but what happens with a professional golfer is they separate. So they move the lower body, which is what gets them into this type of position. What they don't do is they don't move the upper body, you see, this way. It's a lower body action. So what Justin Rose is doing is just a feeling of the separational movement that's obviously relative to him, right, in terms of how exaggerated it needs to feel. But this is why professional golfers all look very, very similar. So the advice I would offer you is the advice that I offer all of my students, is you really want to learn to hit the golf ball with the sensation of the shoulders staying closed at the point of impact, and then you can kind of swing through from there. And if I was to swing towards you, see that the big problem is, if I sort of take it back to that halfway position, I bring the club down, the big issue for most golfers is they don't realise is actually the way the club gets onto the back of the golf ball is through arm rotation. So what happens for the club to get from this position to the back of the ball is my left arm rotates, my right arm sort of straightens, and that gets me here. And then from there, my arms can advance a little bit more, or I can turn through with it. The problem with loads of golfers is you kind of maybe understand the hands of lead, but you still associate that you're supposed to hit the golf ball with upper body rotation at the bottom of the swing. And the issue when you start to do that is it always sends the club outward. If you send the club outward, you're forever going to struggle. So I would try and really get the sensation that you're hitting the ball with square, or if not, slightly closed shoulders.